Well, it's like my granddad always said, if you've got a hot meme, stick it on a fucking shirt. He also told me not to commit a crime unless the potential payoff was worth the prison sentence. Now look, I like Pokemon as much as the next trash girl, but we've all got to admit, we've all got to be honest and say that Pokemon is up to some bullshit, it's always been up to some bullshit, and that bullshit deserves calling out. So in today's video, we are of course going to talk about Pokémon Unite. Let's take a break from abuse of developers and talk about abuse of the customer. As we all know by now, microtransactions prey upon children, prey upon the neurodivergent, prey upon those with, problem gambling issues, problem purchasing issues. They're predatory. We know this. It's not even up for debate anymore. It's fact. And that's science. And when it comes to maliciously targeted economies, there are few games more exemplary, few games more despicable than Pokémon Unite. So let's talk about Pokémon Unite, and not exactly how it's a major shocking turn for the series or for Nintendo, because ultimately it's just the natural conclusion of the path both Nintendo and Pokémon were on. What is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? Oh no. Oh no. This is like the worst. This is like the worst shit in the fucking world. This is like Pokemon, but bad, evil Pokemon. Is that Digimon? A Digimon evil Pokemon or not? Who even knows? I know it's not as bad as this shit. I've never played Digimon, but I can tell you for a stone-cold ironclad nut-busting fact that this piece of wank, this complete fucking charade, this evil-hearted den of iniquity is worse. Worse than most games, in fact. Worst game on the Nintendo Switch, easily. Worse than Breath of the Wild. It's pure shitting scum, and it needs to get in the fucking sea and torn apart by angry barracudas. Anyway, Pokémon Unite is a fucking shit game associated with an increasingly insidious company in Nintendo. Yes, I think it's safe to call Nintendo insidious by this point. Its forays into microtransactions and their inherent exploitation of vulnerable players have been less explosive and controversial than the AAA cash grabs of other major publishers, but it has nonetheless lent its franchises to some truly dark-hearted mobile games, utterly laden with in-app purchases and designed to exploit anybody playing it, including and especially children. Let's look at what the stupid fuck Pokémon Unite is though. It's terrible. It's a MOBA-style game in which you control a Pokemon and then basically do MOBA shit. There are opposing goals, you earn points by fighting wild Pokemon or defeating enemy team members, and you bring the points to those goals to score. That's it. As far as MOBAs go, it's bargain basement shit, simple and straightforward, as well as repetitive and inevitably boring. It's also got 5 fucking currencies in it, including a premium currency that is sold just like any common mobile game microtransaction and is used to purchase or fast-track the unlocking of practically everything. The premium currency is gems, because of course it is. I'm so sick of gems and crystals. Oh, gems and crystals, just shove them up your fucking ass! These scumbag purchases range from 99 cents to $99.99. Following the very typical mobile free-to-play structure, your first-time purchases get you double gems. The first hit's free, or at least twice as gemmy. The other currencies are there mostly as obfuscation, to confuse the player and create a false sense of investment, as any bullshit in-game currency is designed to do. It has a battle pass, because of course it fucking does, which not only one pays to obtain, but can pay to speed the progress of, because the seasonal nature of battle passes is designed to create not just that lucrative sense of FOMO, but to apply a time limit and sense of urgency to your purchases. To earn anything in-game is to grind for an obscene length of time. time, which is doubly shitty considering the game is such a frustrating bore to play that you'd be better off grinding your eyeballs against a cheese grater. When starting the game, expect to be assailed by advertisements for purchasable garbage every time. As for that garbage, well, you can buy licenses to use more Pokemon, you can buy clothes for those Pokemon to wear, you can buy clothes for your trainer to wear, and to make things less of a game, because who needs games in their games, Pokémon Unite is also pay to win, since you can spend real money to enhance in-game items and make them stronger. Pokemon, more like Paykemon. That doesn't work. The items can make a real difference, whether it's dealing extra damage, regaining more health, adding a shield, or increasing speed. All of them make the game pay to win. All of them take an already nasty little game and make it worse. Then there are the loot boxes. Oh, don't worry, the game has gambling for your little shit-eating kids. Because most freemium games are an exercise in glorified money laundering, you don't directly buy loot boxes with real cash. Instead, you use energy to open up the randomized awards, which can of course be purchased with real money. It's similar to the booster system in that one Resident Evil game that people said didn't have paid loot boxes because they were duped by the web-like structure of in-game purchasing. Webs are like spiders make, predatory spiders. Pokemon Unite is predatory, just as Nintendo is predatory, just as the entire game industry is increasingly unstoppably predatory. Pokemon Unite, aimed squarely at children and debuting on the Nintendo Switch, has taken aback far more than just the usual crowd, with even established press finding it hard to defend and corporate stands remaining quieter than usual in their defences of sickening trash. The fact this shitty little mobile game came first to Switch gave it extra attention from the gaming community, and its positioning as a friendly, colourful, Pokemon-filled extravaganza makes the entire thing skeevy as fucking hell. We need to be honest though. This is Nintendo. Hell, this is Pokemon. This is what they are. Let's not forget that Pokemon has, since its very inception, been designed to exploit children. That's what the entire Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue split was, to say nothing of Pokemon Yellow, which came later. The game was arbitrarily released twice at first, with some Pokemon exclusive to Red and others to Blue. It was the same fucking game, and we've so rarely questioned that decision as adults because it was normalized into us as kids. That last point is a crucial one, and one I feared for the younger generation of game players. I've lamented in the past that the people growing up with microtransactions in their games will see them as something that have always been around, and therefore question it far less. Like how it took me years and years to realise that capitalism wasn't a good idea just because it was a persistent one. We see this sense of normalisation with how nobody questions the release of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, even though there's no good goddamn fucking reason for it. And how many more names are they gonna pull out their ass for this shit? They've done colours, they've done precious minerals, Sword and Shield, sword and fuck off more like. The actual design of those games have been greedy cons from the start. Pokemon, more like Poke-Con, better. Yeah, that one was better. As for Nintendo, well, we've known for a while that the company is just as greedy for that sweet micro money as any other company thanks to its grotesque forays into the mobile space. Slowly but surely, each Nintendo franchise has made its way to mobile and has gotten more grotesque with time. Animal Crossing, Pocket Camp and Fire Emblem Heroes are packed with microtransactions that are only getting worse, and they've added crummy little subscription services to boot. Mario Kart Tour was Nintendo's previously most disgusting freemium game, absolutely fucking stuffed to the gills with purchases. You need to buy the gold pass to access 200cc races, and the pass also gives you shit to upgrade your carts. The game contains loot boxes and creates a sense of envy for non-paying players by having them race bots, made to look like other players. Bots that show off the rewards obtainable in the boxes. It comes super fucking close to the outright pay-to-win structure of Pokemon Unite. Even Pokemon Go finally succumbed to the lure of child predation and added roundabout premium loot boxes on top of the microtransactions that were already there. No, they're not fun presents, as one fucking writer argued. They're gross. They're filth. They're gambling, they're aimed at children. Nintendo has been into the idea of swindling money from less protected customers for years now, and between it and Pokemon's child conditioning legacy, Pokémon Unite feels less like an aberration and more like the natural conclusion for a series and a company increasingly steeped in wanton avarice. People act stunned when Nintendo releases something overwhelmingly greedy, as if such behaviour is only for the EAs and the Activisions of the world. But make no mistake, Nintendo is not your friend, and despite its twee bit of propaganda, it does not exist to put smiles on people's faces. You know who else makes that claim? Fucking WWE. Fucking Vince McMahon, one of the most predatory scumbag billionaires on the fucking planet. And yes, paradoxically, that's every billionaire. Every billionaire is the worst billionaire. They only want to put smiles on their own fucking faces, rich bastards. Corporations are not your friend. And Nintendo is a corporation, a particularly hypocritical and duplicitous one, I might add, for it masquerades as the child-friendly company with the family-oriented platform, the smile maker that has in the past pretended violent and religiously themed content is far too touchy, but has exposed itself as perfectly willing to engage in far more harmful practices. And let me reiterate what I've said in the past about the very nature of these disgusting free-to-play and fee-to-pay economies. Microtransactions are addictive, microtransactions are exploitative, and microtransactions are fucking dangerous. I urge you, if you haven't, to watch my video on the addictive cost of predatory monetization, where I share testimony of those affected. I urge you to read and reread the stories of players who overspent on FIFA Ultimate Team because of the manipulative way the loot boxes are designed. I urge you to understand that microtransactions are designed explicitly to target the neurodivergent and take advantage of them. I urge you to see how viciously these games go after children. If you do not personally feel the tugging pull of these in-app purchases, it's not because the pull isn't there, it's because you're not the target. But if they ever find a way to get you, they will. They happily will. Pokémon Unite is headed to mobile where it fucking belongs in September, pretty much demonstrating that these games, despite the extra platforming and credibility of the Switch, is just the latest in a long line of despicably vulturine economies pumped out bearing the Nintendo name. And it's just the latest way Pokémon exploits children. When you think about it, the game industry is all shades of fucked up, isn't it? But isn't that industry overall? I wonder. It is industry overall. But the game industry provides a good example of just what happens when regulation is low and greed is through the fucking roof. I've said for many years, you give game publishers an inch, they'll take the fucking nation. And that's what we've seen. We've seen game publishers without restriction, without enough pushback from everyone, and they've learned what's okay. They've pushed sometimes, learned what's not okay, and scaled back. But everything is a push in the end. Whether they make these gigantic, shocking leaps that we then all get used to, or they incrementally, subtly, insidiously build it. This is where it's all going. We've seen reports from Ubisoft who protected abusers for years and promoted them and buried allegations. We have them talking about just how much money is coming into the company through microtransactions and free-to-play mobile games. We've seen Electronic Arts boast of the billions and billions of dollars flowing into the industry like wine. Water flows more than wine, doesn't it? Water. That's the saying. What's the saying about wine flowing? I can't remember these things. I was just thinking, wow, these live action bits are unscripted and you're on a tear. That was completely from the heart. No stoppy starts, no pauses, no need to zoom in and zoom back out a bit to cover a cut. And I've lost it. The point is, games is fucked. Games is fucked. Thank God for me. Who isn't fucked? That'd be nice.